Hello. If you know history correctly, you can see the future. Today, let's briefly consider the book, Persecution of the Korean Church, written by Dr Syngman Rhee in Hawaii. The conspiracy by the Japanese to annihilate Christians, known as the 105 People Incident, became a very important turning point in Dr. Syngman Rhee's life. Pastor Kim Jae-dong, in his book, Understanding Modern Korean History, quotes Professor Kimura Khan, a professor of modern Korean history at Kobe University in Japan, saying, "The 105 People Incident changed Rhee's strategy. Before the incident, Rhee had the goal of returning to his homeland, under Japanese rule, to work as an educator or pastor. However, after the incident, he concluded that it was difficult to engage in any activity within Korea. As a result, Rhee's thinking changed to the belief that he had no choice but to conduct the independence movement abroad, where Japanese influence could not reach. The 105 People Incident was a major turning point in Rhee's life. Eventually, at the age of 37, Rhee left his homeland for the distant United States, to begin a long and arduous 33-year struggle for Korea's liberation, which would last until his return at the age of 70 in 1945. As briefly mentioned last time, Rhee, who had crossed over to the United States, met with his mentor, Wilson, who would become the President of the United States, and asked him to sign a declaration announcing Korea's liberation to the world, but was refused. Consequently, Rhee, after consulting with Park Yong-man, his prison comrade from Hansung Prison, decided to go to Hawaii. At that time, there were about 5,000 Koreans scattered across the Hawaiian Islands, who had immigrated as laborers to work in sugarcane fields between 1903 and 1905. Rhee planned to rally these people to carry out the independence movement in Hawaii. The first thing Rhee did upon arriving in Hawaii was to write a book titled Persecution of the Korean Church. The reason for writing was to inform the world's media about the truth of the 105 People Incident. At that time, missionaries could have informed the world's media about the incident if they had chosen to. However, they did not make such efforts. Rhee pointed out that the reason for the missionaries' silence was due to their distorted and incorrect understanding of the separation of church and state. Originally, the concept of separation of church and state meant that the state and government should not interfere with religion. However, this concept was misunderstood due to Japanese distortion to mean that the church should not interfere with politics. As a result, missionaries remained silent about the inhumane atrocities committed by the Japanese, and political statements were strictly prohibited within the church. Pastor Kim Jae-dong emphasizes in his book that it was against this background that persecution of the Korean church was born. Pastor Lee Ho shares the commentary of Mr. Lee Han-woo as follows: "If Syngman Rhee's book The Spirit of Independence is a well-organized guide to enlightenment, then persecution of the Korean church is literally the culmination of the highest Korean intellect of the time. Syngman Rhee's scholarship, spirit, and experience all melted into one. The two major spiritual pillars revealed in this book are simply patriotic thought and Christian faith. Persecution of the Korean Church is a masterpiece that dialectically synthesizes these two pillars. Under the condition of colonial Korea, Syngman Rhee interprets persecution positively in his book, Persecution of the Korean Church. It was his unique theology of suffering and the theology of the cross." Pastor Lee Ho quotes Rhee's writing on persecution. "From the birth to the death of Jesus, all his works were accomplished during 33 years of persecution. And afterward, the apostles of Jesus also took that persecution as their daily bread. Even when the church was persecuted by the Roman Empire, believers dug holes in the ground to hide, worship God, and gradually established and developed the church. All the freedom and happiness in Europe and America today are due to the power of Christian civilization, which laid its foundation amidst persecution." What Syngman Rhee is advocating is that the persecuted Korean church will also achieve the vision of becoming Asia's first Christian nation. Thus, Rhee foresaw that the Korean church, established in a seemingly insignificant colony, would evangelize Asia and lead Japan and China to Christianity with thoroughly Christian thinking. In a land as desolate as hell, where hope was lost along with the nation's fall, Rhee dreamed of a dream Korea. Isn't it a beautiful story from long ago? Doesn't it warm your heart? Doesn't the indomitable will of Syngman Rhee, who sought to rebuild the nation despite its downfall, stir your heart? Like Rhee, who responded to God's guidance through missionaries, I hope we can show a new response for our nation and rise up like him. Today, people from East Asia are coming to Korea, dreaming of a dream Korea. It's hard to understand why some Koreans label their prospering country as Hell Joseon, despite its revival and growth. If we had people like Syngman Rhee among us, wouldn't we dream of a more visionary Republic of Korea? Do our best in our individual lives for the prosperity of the nation, and have a longing for God to work through this Republic of Korea, while dreaming of a holy priesthood nation that pleases God. I believe that this country needs people like Syngman Rhee, and God also expects it. Even though the country was gone and the church was persecuted, Syngman Rhee assured that the persecuted Korean church would overcome and triumph. Pastor Lee Ho quotes Rhee's writing on this. "For the past 3 years, threatening policies have been carried out, and the persecution of the church in various places is indescribable. If the Korean Church had been established by human strength, it could not have endured until now. If the Japanese authorities try to completely eradicate the Korean Church, they will repeat the mistake of the Roman Emperor Nero long ago. It will be a mockery, like when the region of Joseon provoked the Donghak movement, or when the Empress Dowager Cixi of Qing China instigated the Boxer Rebellion. In the end, it will only strengthen the Korean Church, because it was established by the power of God. Pastor Lee Ho comments on persecution of the Korean Church, written by Rhee in Hawaii. The book Persecution of the Korean Church is comprehensive. It has profound theology, various historical analyses, grand theories of civilization comparison, and simple testimonies. There is the pain of poor Christians from a country pushed to the periphery of world history and destroyed, and there is hope emanating from them. The book contains the footsteps of Syngman Rhee, who acquired the highest knowledge of East and West and struggled in the streets, not in ivory towers, to reform reality through Christianity. Written in 1913, it contains accurate information that stands up even today. In judging by the present, Rhee's prophecy has hit the mark. The Korean Church, which grew amidst persecution, has become the forward base for Asian missions, just as Rhee said. And Pastor Lee Ho continues, the book, Persecution of the Korean Church is a prophecy that has come true, and at the same time a textbook of patriotism and faith. In this way, the inner being of Syngman Rhee was becoming a giant for the country. That's all for today. We have briefly looked at Persecution of the Korean Church, written by Syngman Rhee in Hawaii. If you resonate with this, I recommend purchasing the book and giving it a read. Knowing history correctly shows the future. Next time, we will think together about Syngman Rhee's activities in Hawaii. I hope you will spend the rest of the week meditating on the heart of God, who founded the Republic of Korea, and follow God's guidance. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and likes to help more people understand history objectively. Thank you. Be victorious. Great Korea.